Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today it's time to play with all things shiny. So I've got my gold thread. Now this is just a DMC brand. Now is it the best on the market? I'm really not sure. I've only ever tried this. I did not like it at first, but I do now. I'm not sure why that happened, whether it's what I was doing it looked great in, or what. You do have different filaments here that you can split it down to quite fine little individual threads, but for this project I'm going to leave it as it is. So I'm just going to put a little knot in the end. Okay, now what we're going to do is just look for ways of popping a little bit of gold in there. So I'm thinking I might create a bit of a foliage or a plant looking thing bit. What's the words over this side? Just with some straight stitches and some loose lazy daisy. Just to have a little bit of bling. Oh, there's those dogs playing. It starts out friendly and then it suddenly gets a bit rough because someone takes someone's toy. Goodness me. And then they're chums within 3 seconds. If only humans could get over it that quick, hey? So I'm going to do... Got no real plan here. I'm just sort of making marks, making stitches. If we don't like it, just pull it out. I might put a couple little straight stitches through the center so it looks like it's got a bit of a stamen. I might zoom in. We're doing a lot of needlework. Might as well get you a little bit closer. Okay, now we might end that off there because I don't want to waste the thread going down the bottom and coming up again. So I'll take a moment just to finish that, and we'll get at least a little something out of that little bit. See if we can get a little lazy daisy in us. Okay, happy with that. It's just a little bit of bling. It's always harder to re-thread it because your little fibres are starting to come away, but that's got it. So it's not hard. Don't be frightened by gold thread. I always was. But yeah, the more I use it, the more I like it. And I think that's a lot of embroidery. Just get in there and use it. Okay, now we might leave the thread on that one for a bit. Let's put a little bit on this one now. Same sort of thing, just a little bit of I think I will go back to that first one. I feel like it needs a little something over here. Even if it's just a few little strokes of the needle. You know, a few long stab stitches. Can't hurt, can it? Lovely. Like a little bit of grass over this side. Okay. Just a bit of sparkle there. Just 3 little stitches to match that side. Okay, let's just knot that. I'll show you some other colours that I bought when I got this gold. It's my little gold collection. So I got 2 silvers. This is a different brand. This one, she said, was a preferential favourite of her customers, but I haven't tried it yet because I haven't, and she didn't have gold in it, so that's why I end up getting this one. But I haven't tried it yet because I haven't done anything that really needs those colours, and that was the other DMC one. It's like a, look, you can't even see what I'm showing you. So I go second DMC and then this one with the butterfly on it. Not sure what all that says, but it's supposed to be special. And this I've had for ages. I think I just got this from a cheap shop. I tend to couch with this, just lay it down and then stitch over it. And this one was given to me by a fisherman. He was using it to make flies. So he gave me a heap of threads, and in there was this silver. So I'm not sure. He claims he just got it from a cheap shop. So I'm not sure what that one's all about. So that's my little thread gold. This is a cordage that I got from a Steph Francis pack of threads. It was in amongst a heap of different threads. So I just separated them all and popped the gold on a bobbin in there. So that's my little metallic thread collection. Okay, so let's put a few sprigs. Oops, we need a knot, don't we? A few little sprigs here. And just start adding the bling to your tags. They really come alive. It's very pretty. And being there for Christmas, it just makes them a little bit more special. Right across that bottom there, just a little bit of gold. Might as well use our thread up. Might put a random little flower up there. Maybe too big to get the stitch I want out of this. I might have jiggered myself, but we'll give it a go. Just a little. Yeah, I shouldn't have made my stitch so tall because now I've got very little movement here left, but I think we'll get it. Oh, goodness me. There I go, making every little skerrick of thread count. Probably got meters and meters there, but you know how it is when you're onto something different and new, you want to save every little bit of it. I'm sure gold thread's not going to go out of production in the near future. I was actually surprised at how many brands were on the market. So I had to really rely on the shopkeep to, I like that. That looks like a reed. That, see, it's really starting to fray and come apart. Just take your time and you'll get it. Okay. All right. Do we need any more? I think we do. I'm going again. I want to do a few more of those bulrush reed looking, just with a single lazy daisy stitch at the end with a little bit of a point. I'm going to come up a bit higher this time now that I've rethreaded and I've got a little bit more length. I'm going to come up there. I might be in the same hole. Yeah, I thought I was. It's getting close to where you went into the fabric. And then putting a little point on it just gives a different effect to your stitch. There we go. Might do another one over here. Do we go really big? Just, yeah, so in the middle. Yeah. All right, finish our stitch. Then we're going to start beading. There we go, 3 little reeds and some little grasses. Got a little bit left. I might go back to that first one and just add a few more little elements in amongst it, because I've got a little bit of length there. So I might as well. Might just see if I can get another little feature in here. Yeah, of course I will. Got plenty there. Still got a little bit left. Oh no, let it go. Let it go. I can use it on another tag. Okay, we've got our gold. Now I'm going to bring in our glittery bits. We've got some seed beads in champagne and this calico colour. We've got some sequins. So now I'm going to just have a play. I've got some little pearls here kicking around on my table. I do have some pearl buttons as well, so we might find a spot for a little pearl button. I might put a little pearl button on in the center of that flower. The camera angle's not real good there for you guys, is it? Let's just tilt that a little bit. Okay, let's have a little dig in here and find a button first. This may be a small one. This one here in the corner caught my eye as I said the sentence. But it's got a really big shank on it, so it's going to sit up high. That one's probably better. Still got the old thread in it. Don't know where I got these. I think I got them off eBay. Yeah. Oh, that just twists around there. Okay, some really old thread. All right, we're going to pop that little guy in the center. So let's get our needle in and stitch our little button. Then I'm going to, we'll see how we go for time, because you can spend hours on beading. So I might get a few areas started so you get the general picture of where I'm heading with it, and then I can stop, go on to another area and another area. So, and then I'll just tell you what the plan is. Then I will we'll bring the video right up to close to the hour. I'll then switch the video off and finish those little areas that we discuss, and then come back to show you them completed, so you'll get to see them done. Okay. Little bead, a little button is in position. Oh, goodness me, I'm catching everything that's dingle-dangling here. That's got it. Okay, you could spend hours on these. You really could. That's why I like them. They're just little. They're very achievable for a beginner who's learning slow stitch. Now I'd like to do some beading on the end of this. So I think I need a finer needle. Is this the little one? I just think that this might be too... Yeah, that's not the right one. It's this nasty little one that catches my fingers. Now, where have you got to? It's so fine. It's a true beading needle, but oh boy, it's a pain to use. And for the life of me, I cannot see it because it's so fine. Was here. I think I need to get some more, just bear with me guys, I need to get some more of these beads out because I've been picking away at that tray for ages, and I think all that's left are the little rectangular ones. And oh, here's some real goldy coloured ones. Let's have a play with them. Yeah, all that's left are the real rectangular ones. So I sort of want to and the odd seed bead that is in there are a little bit deformed and they're very, very small. They probably need to be picked out now and binned. That's why this needle should do the trick, but there's little itty bitty ones in that tray. So I've picked up some more gold beads this time where I was using champagne. So let's have a little play with these. Now the plan is, if this works, to pop a few little beads on the top of this little piece of crocheting we use to make a flower. So I'll just put a foundation stitch in, just getting it secure, the thread that is, and we'll pick up a bead and hopefully it slides through. Yes, it does. Yeah, I think the problem there is the little seed beads that are left are all the ones that have been rejected. Now technically you should put 2 stitches in every bead. That ensures that it's not going anywhere. Having said that, this is not an item of clothing. It's not a piece of jewelry. So I guess if you're in a hurry and you're quickly putting something together for a quick gift, one stitch would be more than enough. Yeah, that's going to put a pretty little detail on the top edge of that flower. I like that. So I'll do one more and then I'll move on to somewhere else so that I don't spend 20 minutes on the one thing. If I go faster than I think it's going to go, I can always come back and start. See, that's a bead that's not going to go down that little needle. And then I've put the bead on the wrong side, so my thread hadn't come through in my haste to go to the bucket of beads. Here we go. Lovely. So I'll give a nice little detail to the flower. Okay, just knot that off. Okay, so there'll be a little row of beads there. Where else can we do some? I was thinking around where the leaf is. I'm thinking we could do I wonder if we could do like 3. Oh, you can see where the time goes with beading, especially when you've got cheap beads. I really need to find a better needle. Oh, that's gone on. Oh goodness, I'm going to have to find another needle. Try and find one more bead that actually slides down. And then, okay, so we found 3. This will take forever. And I'm just going to stitch them at the base of this leaf, just to give a little detail there. Okay, now I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to find a finer needle, otherwise we will be here forever as I struggle to pick up beads. Like this needle is fine, but I need a littler itty bitty one. Okay, what's that one there? No, what have I done with it? Oh, there it is. Oh, we're away. It's even threaded. I knew it was somewhere because I was using it on this tag project. I'm going to put now another 3 little beads on the bottom of this little leaf. Now I can just pick them up with speed. I won't be torturing you as you watch me. And on they go. Look at that. Oh, it's amazing how good it is when there's actually works, hey? I'm thinking I might do another 3 or 4 or 5 beads on that little I like how they're looking on that. And we didn't do any embroidery on it, so it could nearly do with just a little feature. Oh, even some of these aren't sliding down this. See, this is what happens when you buy cheap beads. You got to take what you get. They're all different sizes too, so there's no, you know, similar size. So technically they're, you know, they're dodgy little beads. But they will do for what we are doing. Okay, let's get some more thread. That was getting a little bit mean. Now what I might do is pop a few beads along the bottom. This one's getting really gold bling. Just down in this mulch area. Let's just put a few little clusters of beads here and there, just to add a little interest to the bottom. Once again, I'll just start it so you get the idea of it, then I will finish it off and report back. Okay. Just random, just a little pop of bling. Like you could really go to town and bead that entire bottom of the piece. Would look beautiful. Especially if you filled it full of sequins and crystally beads and yeah, really how to play with the, keeps getting tangled on that corner. So a bit of, I guess then it's just a case of having a look at your tag and seeing where else you could sneak a bit of, little bit of bling on. I had visions of putting them down the stem of that plant, but it must have been the other one I was thinking about doing that, because I don't mind it the way it is because it ended up getting that piece of lace. Okay, I'll finish that off, but you get the general gist of the little sprinkling of beads coming along that bottom there. I hope I'm in camera. I just glanced up again at my TV and saw that it was a bit off. I do apologise. When it's fine work like this, I've got to have it fairly close to my mush so I can see it. But in the process, it does sort of flick it out of view a little bit. I think that will be, I'm going to run it. See how that's a little crooked there? It's not sitting right. So what I'm going to do is going to come back up through and I'm going to run a stitch right through all of them just to make it one piece. Wasn't happy with the way that was sitting. That's better. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that'll be enough with a sprinkling them along the bottom and then a few through that flower. I'm thinking that will be just enough bling. The camera doesn't do it justice because there's a lot of sparkle there. So I'm going to just put that one aside and let's have a look at this little guy. I think the first thing we've got to do is we've got to get something happening in the center of our flower. And I think I'm going to start with a sequin. And I usually put a few together. Because this is chunky, I'm going to actually use quite a few sequins here. I think I'm going to go about 6 or so, just so I get a bit of height. And you know how sequins have a bowl shape about them? Well, I've got, let's pick up a bead that goes with that. I've got some facing up, some facing down, so that also helps with building a little height in the center of my flower. It's all about the bulk. And then it's just fun. So I've caught the little bead on top, so that now pins down that stack of sequins. And because I've got one turned the other way, it's actually got quite a lot of height about it, which is really good. Now around the base of that, I'm going to just stitch some additional little beads, just as a random little feature. So it has a center that's quite interesting. It has the sequin. And the bead. Now I do need to make more tags because I need quite a few for my Christmas gifts, but I'm not going to probably do all the steps on the camera here. I'm going to have to try and speed it up a little bit, otherwise we will be here till a month of Sundays. So I might sort of work through the process and then turn the camera on and sort of catch it up and do a few little things, you know, sort of mix it up a little bit, where the first few videos at least you see my process I follow, which is adding to the base, because they're all done, adding that bit of music, fabric, or you could use text, adding some lace, then focusing on the flower and building that. Then I start to work on the lower story of the garden. So that's putting in some additional stitches or lacy bits to create additional flowers, 2, 3, however many you want. And then we have a look at the borders, extending the tag, and that's these pieces that just come out from the side of the tag, which helps the back pick up on a little bit of lace. The back printed part. Oh, these dogs are just at my window. That's Bandit. He's so excited. They're chasing each other. So what I'll do is I'll get busy on them, and I'm going to use some champagne beads again on this. I will sort of get them moving along and then just come back and show you different things that I've done. I think that'll be the way to go. I don't need to do all of them. I'll be saving a few for either random gifts I need through the years, so therefore they won't be going on to a Rachel tag for Christmas. They'll go on to maybe a nature tag that Rachel has or someone has. So, or just some pretty paper. So I'm just now putting a little bead at the tip of each one of these. We're going well for time. I think we might be fine to probably finish the tags entirety without me stopping and starting the video, which is great. Now that I got the right needle, amazing how quickly it goes. Funny that, hey? enjoying making these. Just quick little stitcheries, you know. It's not a major project. It's one of the people that is getting one of these tags, I hope she's not listening, is my best mate. Now, she hasn't done a lot of slow stitch. She's cautious on the whole slow stitch thing. I had actually thought of putting together some little scrappy bits with her tag so she can actually make the little tag. There's a second lady that loves embroidery and hasn't done it for years. So I thought maybe putting a tag in that I've completed, because she's like, wow, look what you are all doing now. In my day, it was a printed piece of linen that you would satin stitch in, you know, classic doily. So she's just in awe of all of these little elements that we're all using and little random stitches, and I guess the randomness of it. So I thought maybe as a little gift for her, a little slow stitch piece that she could do, and then use the tag as the inspiration, if you will. So put similar pieces on, and maybe just a rectangular piece of fabric or a little square, and just let her go for it and see what she comes up with. Okay, so that's the little plant done. Now let's see what else we can stitch on. New piece of thread. It's amazing how much thread you go through. Time is going well. Excellent. Can we squeeze a button on somewhere? I think we can. I think we could pop a button down here. Yeah, look at you, you beautiful thing. So let's get our stitch. So yeah, as I'm thinking with the videos, these videos going forward now will just pop up and it'll be like an update with a little bit of stitching. Otherwise, I could do them all with you and it would take us right through to Christmas and probably into the new year if we're only doing 2 tags every 4 days. There's other things I want to do with you. So I think the series will be more of a catch-up going forward. So I hope that's okay. So there's my bead. Beautiful big bead. Now let's sneak some other little details in there. Maybe a little bit of a cluster of things. Let's pick up some of those sequins. And a bead. It's just about laying down morsels of yumminess. Just little lumpy bumpy bits of beads and don't overthink it. The moment you start thinking, oh, that doesn't look right, you're heading down trouble. You just got to stitch it down, because you've got to remember it's the overall picture. Now, when Picasso looked at his work, I'm sure he looked at some of the sections and thought, yep, that's a component in the overall picture. I bet he didn't go, oh, I don't like that corner. It was all about the finished product. And if anyone's a stroke of this and a stroke of that and a bit of paint here and a bit of paint that, those guys are. These are not, you know, painters that look at every detail of a lady's face or an ear, and it's precise. These are more like paintings that are a stroke of this and a daub of that and a smear of that. It's abstract. We have a hint of things, like we've got a hint of that foliage that tells the person looking at it that it is something from nature. It's a flower. Here we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now, I think we need to do something in the center of these little flowers. Let's just get our needle in there and just pick up a little bead. I'm just going to pop a little gold one in this time. Come on. Got to take your hats off to those people that do this for a job. My eyesight is not up to that. I see I've done it again. See that? Bead is on the back. I'm so keen to get my needle into the beads that I forget to take that stitch. You're probably watching it going, hang on, here she goes. She's not on the right side of her work. I'm just going to leave it at the one little bead there, just a little detail. We'll drop down to the flower below and we'll do the same. Just a little itty bitty bead. What are the rules? Less is more. More is beautiful. They're the rules. How's that for confusing? Here we go. Oh, I love that. Does that flower appear anywhere else? No. Yes, it does. Down on the bottom. I'm sure I put two. Oh, those scissors are terrible. Now, I just want one more down here. It just needs a little, it's just carrying that detail together. And then we might, I think, see there's some little flowers in there. Let's do some on there. That lace. Has a little florally element to it. So I'm just going to pop, I'm thinking, some beads up in there. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it at that. Sort of doesn't make sense up there. I'm going to let that background just disappear. Yeah, I'm happy with that. There's all sorts of goodies on there. Okay, now let's just come back to this guy. And I'm going to just carry on with a few more here. So we go about 15 minutes. So I'll work it for a few minutes and then I'm going to turn off the camera and come back with the beads completed. Put them on the bench here so I can pick them up better. It's better. Concentrating. Trying not to stab myself with this ever so fine needle, which keeps coming unthreaded. Wasting time. There we go. Maybe if I could see a bit better, it'd be good. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the video there. I'll keep placing some of these little guys in, and then I'll do a few more scatters of beads over here, and I think that'll finish this one off too. So I will be back in a moment. Hello everyone, I'm back now. As discussed, I just scattered beads along the bottom here, and I finished with a few beads along that top edge. So I'm pretty happy with all my little elements now. It's looking very cute. One thing I want to do, which is a bright idea I had after I finished that top edges of the flower, is I've got myself a few inches of this eyelash yarn, and I'm just folding it a couple times. And what I'm thinking of doing is inserting it into the center of this flower, and let's just hold it in position with a few little stitches. I just feel like the flower could do with a little bit extra something in there. Some little fibers I think will do the trick. So I'll put 3 or 4 stitches in there, ensuring that I catch it in there. I like using this eyelash yarn. It just is quite an interesting texture because it's not only got the thickness of the yarn itself, but then coming off of it, they've twisted all those little eyelash filaments, eyelash sized filaments into it. You could even go to the extent of popping a little button in there, so whoever gets the tag, when they poke their nose in there to have a little look, they're greeted with a little button. But I don't think I will. I think I'll just leave it at that. I like that. So that's now secure, and being that there's a loop there, I'm just going to now snip that loop. So it's just put that little element of fibre in there. Yeah, I'm loving that. So you could even go to the extent of wrapping, let's say this was done like it is, we could then grab some more fibre. I'm going off on a tangent now. And you can sneak some of this in behind. So the actual yarn is hidden under your flower or button. But we know it's there, so you snip that, and that just pops a few little fibres in there as well. So what I'll do is just put a few little stitches there too. Then I think we are ready. It's just a case of catching that. A few itty bitty stitches. The next thing I want to do is select one of the tags for each one, and we're going to attach our piece to it. Oh, the one thing that I haven't shown you actually is the top of the tag. We need something as well. It's pretty simple. There'll be photos at the end of this video as well. So I'm going to get rid of that bead needle. I don't need to be struggling with that anymore. Let's give my fingers a break and grab a needle that's got more of a rounded top on it. I tell you, when they dig me up in the future, 2, 3, 4, 5, a million years time, and go, wow, this was a lady from the whenever century. They're going to look at this finger and go, what did she do? I'm sure there's going to be an indent there from needlework, and it's going to have them perplexed. Now, I really like the way that this little piece here made a great little overlay for the tag at the top. I hope I got enough time to do all this. So I might just pin it to show you, because I've got an example of it already stitched. So I'm just finding a decorative piece of lace, then a piece of cotton that will do the trick, which this one will. So about so much. Can trim it down if needed. So we only really need the width to be that. So I'm making a tab for the top. So fold that in half. I'm rushing now, so I take my time. Doesn't matter if we go over a little bit, does it? Yep. So that we don't waste it, let's just do that. So I would stitch this together so it become one, okay? Then on the one tag that I did use this lace, I then put a few little beads up the center of that little element. So that gives you an idea where I'm heading. And the other thing I did before I did get too carried away is I went around the outside edge of this piece of fabric to make sure it didn't fray. So I did like an overcast stitch around it as well. I'm going to move that lace up a little bit so that we've got a bit of length about our tab. So let's start again. I would overcast stitch around this edge. That stops the fraying so that the piece doesn't disintegrate over time. Just trimming those little fibres off. So overcast stitch right around with the crochet cotton. Then lay your decorative element in the center of it. Pop some beads on, and then it's ready to stitch onto your tag. Okay? And then that side will come down onto the printed Rachel tag. So I do need to do 2 tab tops. That'll be one. I'll just put it aside. Now, before we get too far along in our time, I just want to show you the last little step. So let's assume that they have their tabs on. And now we're going to go through all of the tags and see which one catches our eye. Oh, I love that one. Oh, I love that one too. Okay, that was easy. I'm going to give them a little bit of ink just to, I don't know, finish them off. Makes them look a little old, which is what we want. Now we're going to pretend, I would love to have done this with you, but I just realised that we don't have our little tabs. We're going to pretend that we're gluing that onto there. So we'll just move that tag into position so that we're just covering all of the edges, and we've got our lace poking out, which is looking gorgeous. And then we just need to work out where our little insert's going to be, our slit for the gift, whether that be a little note or what I'm doing, a little bauble. So I'm happy with that. So that then tells me where I don't want glue. So just for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to draw a rough line through here showing me where I do not put glue. Now, let's say you're doing a gift card. Let's see if I can find a business card, because they're usually that size. So if you were sliding in a gift card for someone, you'd need a space similar to what I need for my little bauble. And then on that gift card, there's nothing stopping you on the edge gluing a little bit of lace. What does it matter? Imagine that being presented to the shopkeeper on their gift card, this little voucher with a little bit of lace attached. Why not, I say? So that would slide in like that, and inside is tucked their little voucher or a note or a little envelope. Gosh, you could do so much. I don't know if I've got a small envelope here. Yes, I do. These are just some I got off Etsy ages ago. So you could make a little envelope and then make sure you glue allowed for the sneaky little gift to be in behind your tag. You could even have that coming out on your tag like we do, making a tuck. You could even then put a little paper clip. I don't have any of those really cute little paper clips, but there's nothing stopping you putting a paper clip there as well. So everything's glued down, but you've got this little tuck spot that you can do things through. And let's say that paper clip, you popped a little charm on it. So look, so much you can do. Now, one of my tags is going into a tag swap, and I've been given a lady's name to send it to. So what I will do, I think, with hers is I might do a little envelope with some goodies or something. I don't know. I don't want to say too much because it'll spoil the surprise. Be something in there, and then I can use that as my little tuck away gift just inside, and that little charm attached there. I think that'll be beautiful, just pulling out a little charm. Yeah, that's it. So picture then that attached. Just gorgeous. Ah, love them. I love them. How cute. Especially if you've got like a group of ladies that you hang out with for sewing. You could make them a tag for your craft class group. So there's one with the bauble in the side, and this one's got the little envelope tucked in there. There you go. Okay, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to finish off my tags, so at the end of this video, you will see them completed, and I will have the little tabs done and attached and glued and yada, yada, yada. And I'll just put a series of photos. I'll also include the original 2 that I did so that they're done as well. So I've got 4. And as I said, I will make some more because I have enough bases for 2, 4, 6, 7 more. But I do need to work out who exactly in my family is getting one, and then decide sort of how I proceed. So I probably won't need them all, which is fine by me because we've got some bases here that we can use maybe next year in some other projects because, yeah, I'm really loving the way they're coming together, even for a birthday gift. Okay, everyone, I will pop some photos at the end. Look after yourselves, and if I do any more of these tags, there'll be a random video might pop up. We'll show you what I've been up to. Bye for now.